Yo guys, what's going on? This is Sparky Raven here, and today I'm bringing you guys a new video. This is me just trying out the championships mode of the sprint mode series, and I'm in the Red Bull playing as my career mode character, and yeah, I thought I'd give something different a bit of a try, and I actually had a lot of fun filming this. I mean, I did get taken out a couple of times. I mean, this first one just here, it's sort of my fault. I just went straight in the back of him, lose control, and that pretty much stuffs up my race. So pretty much I spent the entire race uh, just trying to catch up to the rest of the field. I'm struggling with the debris on the tyres at the moment. Um, but yeah, I do get taken out a couple of times. Please excuse my poor driving. Did have a bit of an accident the other day. Yeah, pretty much just got. Yeah, actually, I won't go into it. But anyway, this is pretty much me catching up to the rest of the pack at the moment. Lap 4 out of 5, going on to lap 5 next time. Oh wait, no. Yeah, this is pretty much the closest I've gotten to the pack in a while. So yeah, coming around to the start line now. No. This is me. Yeah, so I'm pretty much focusing on getting a run on Magnussen there, and I thought, yeah, okay, I could hold off till the back straight, and yeah, he just pulls away from me. So now skipping on to the front straight. That's just how much I've caught up over the laps, going into the last lap now, and yeah, so this is pretty much where I overtake a couple of cars. I get to Alonso, and then I squeeze out, I think it was Grosjean there, and then I leave him the room here, but he still feels the need to take me out. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much race over, dead last lap. No way I'm going to catch up, but yeah. So pretty much, yeah, with that accident, I left him a little bit of room, and then I felt a nudge. That's why I went over the second time, and then he put me in the wall. So fuck you, Grosjean. You can go fuck yourself. So now with the reverse grid order, I started on pole for round 2, which is in Brazil, and I think this is what really made the season interesting. The fact that, you know, uh, every race was in reverse grid order of the championship, so I do have a couple of really good starts, but this one was this one was an alright one. I did manage to hold the lead for a little while, and then Raikkonen managed to get ahead and take off. But yeah, so that's coming on to the second lap now. I've never really driven Brazil before, so as you can see, I did stuff up the first corner, run wide, bit of oversteer. Magnussen goes through, Raikkonen goes through, and I hold up whoever's behind me. I can't quite see who that is, but pretty much the rest of it was pretty much like race one. There was just a damage limitation, and pretty much just pushing every lap till the very end. So yeah, Raikkonen and who was it? Raikkonen and Magnussen, I think it was, pulled a bit of a lead, moving on to the end of the lap now, and I'm seeing what I can do, whether I'll close up the gap. Heading on to lap 3, DRS now available. Raikkonen sets the fastest lap, and yeah. So at this point, Raikkonen pretty much takes off. If you can't tell, DRS open. I try to get back at Magnussen, and yeah, I think at this point I wasn't really sure who took me out. I couldn't remember who took me out in the first race, so pretty much the Haas were annoying me. So a bit of a corner cut there, but hey. Actually, yeah, I can't really say anything to defend myself from that. That was just a straight up corner cut. And now moving on to the end of the lap, it's pretty much defense. Oh, wait, no, this is going on to the last lap now. Moving on to a lap later. Magnussen gets a bit of a run on me. I run into him a little bit, and then he goes a bit slow to the second part of the center S's. So I pretty much hold my ground. Now I'm a bit worried about Massa from behind me. Turns into a bit of a three-way scrap, but here's the move for second place. I run a little bit wide. Magnussen will come back along me there, so I just put the throttle down, squeeze him out a little bit, completely not worrying about him taking me out there. So moving on to the end of the race now. As you can see, Raikkonen won. He just pulled ahead. I got second, losing one position, but first podium of the season. Puts me in the third in the championship, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, a bit of a delayed start there. I was a little bit, zoned out at that time, if I remember correctly. So I dropped down to last, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for a massive lunge. It wasn't could have done a little bit better. I think Hulkenberg spins there. Unfortunately, I did have to hand that position back because it was under yellow flags. So yeah, there were a couple of corner cuts in this race. Whoops, but still, so here I am, just pushing, seeing what I could do with this race. Trying to keep clean, but it's a little bit late at the moment, and I'm pretty tired. So plus really sore. So moving on to the final corner now, going for a bit of a lunge on Massa. Fortunately, I couldn't get Ericsson as well, up in P12, and we're going to have a bit of a, well, we're not going to get much of a run, but we're still going to go for the dive. Anyway, make the move stick, squeeze him out, and push on through the S's. So now moving on to the S's, just throwing the car around at the moment. I did get ahead of Bottas, so must have left that part out. That was actually pretty dodgy overtake, that one on Bottas, but as you can see I lose the back end. Bottas goes through here on lap 3, and I just hang it around the outside there. He squeezes me, not completely off the track, but definitely squeezes me. I hold onto the position though, moving back onto turn 1, massive dive on Ricciardo. Unfortunately, he did lose the position there, and now it's Bottas coming back at me. At this point I did run into the back of Alonso, and then I was going to let him go ahead, but then he was really slow on the exit, so I just went, stuff it, I'm going to take the position. And I think that's it. Running really wide there, he smashes me off the track, but yeah, it's still a lot of fun doing this. Very bit of an audacious move there, but still. Anyway, moving on to the last lap now. A bit of a very bad run to through the hairpin leading onto the back straight. I just chuck it up into Rich and do anything I can to catch up to Bottas. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough. I pretty much looked for the dive, narrowly missing his back of his car, and at this point I was desperate, and then pressure got to me here, and that's the race over and done with. Now, I don't know what it is with those walls there. Yeah, then I got taken out again, but I did have a couple of problems where I'd spin out and I'd hit a specific part and it just completely stopped the car. So at that point, I thought, stuff it, I'm not putting up with that. Just going to retire, not going to score any points anyway. Well in the points, and yet again I bottle it. So now moving on to Spa. This was a pretty good race for me. Currently in starting 13th, first gridder. I think that's 7th or 8th or something, I don't know. Massive lunge down the inside. Come out 7th after turn 1. Get past Ricciardo, P6. Now P5, getting around Ericsson. Heading up a Rouge. So there's that 10 position gain the first corner. That's pretty good. I know the AI, it's on 80 at the moment. That's probably a little bit easy for me, but you know, with the amount of mistakes I make, I think it's pretty fair difficulty. Losing the back end slightly, heading into Radion, I think it is. Don't quote me on corners. But then yeah, lost the back end. Keeping up with the two McLaren Hondas that are battling for final spots on the podium. Very, very good work. One just chucking it down the inside of Van Dorn there. And now onto the end of the first lap, I think it is. Yep. Yellow flags for some reason. Something happened at the final chicane. Slipstream on Alonso going for the dive and end up ahead of Valline as well. So squeezing him out for good measure. Just make sure he doesn't come back at me, and pretty much the rest of this. Yeah. I don't know what that was. I haven't driven this track on with the new cars yet, and then I turned in and took a little bit too much curb and I just bounced. Lost a lot of time to Massa, but still. At the moment I'm pretty much just trying to chase down Massa for the win, and this is the closest I get to him at the moment. And as you can see, unfortunately I'm not getting enough speed with the DRS open, so yeah, it's just I catch up to him a little bit into Radion. I don't think that's Radion. I think Radion's at the top of Eau Rouge. Oh no, that's Les Combes. Okay, sorry. Get really close to him into Les Combes, bottling it again. Around the hairpin, I don't know what it's called. Sorry, no name, and that's the last we see of Massa. As you can see, he just disappears into the distance. Now, in a sec, moving back into Les Combes now, and I do bottle this again, just, you know, trying to push too hard, and yeah, that's me around, and I was just trying to focus on staying ahead of Ricciardo at this point, losing the back end again. I think that was just from debris on the tyres. Moving on to the bus stop at the moment. Massa wins, go really deep into that chicane, locks up, and there's Ricciardo and a little bit of oversteer on the exit. Get a good run on him, but unfortunately it's not enough. Ricciardo takes second, as you can see he's celebrating there in the cockpit. I'm not, for some reason. I mean, I probably would have been celebrating if that was me in real life. Third position from 17th, made up 14th position, that's pretty good. Anyway, moving on to Austria now. And yeah, it's sort of a massive hold up in the turn one. I capitalise as much as I can on that. Moving up to, I think I'm just, where am I? I'm 14th at the moment behind Hamilton. Dive, taking double overtake, can't quite get Vettel, he goes off the track though. Stroll tries to come back at me, I got a little bit of oversteer. And yeah, and pretty much I'm going to show you this next lap in its entirety because there was just so much going on. I catch up to him for the final couple of corners, and I got a good run on Vettel. I go for the move on him. Hulkenberg stays ahead of us, and so yeah, I get a little bit too much curb. Vettel pulls ahead of me, and going up to, I think it's turn 2, might be turn 3, I can't remember, and deep on the braking, and we get Vettel, and we get a bit of a run on Hulkenberg. We squeeze out Vettel off the track. Sorry, Vettel. Heading down to turn 3, sorry. Dive really deep on Hulkenberg, and we just stay side by side to the middle sector here. I get him up the inside, and well, yeah, that's the last we see of Hulkenberg. Not quite the entire middle sector, but still the middle part of the middle sector. And now moving on to the end of lap 2. You can see Bottas gets held up massively. I have to run straight, completely off the track to avoid him. Now we get a bit of a run into turn 1. I'm Not sure if we get Alonso here. I think we do. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Bit of a corner cut there. And it's just a run up the hill now. As you can see, we're following Bottas through. Yeah, leaving Alonso a bit of room, go for a bit of a dive. Narrowly missing his rear tyres and then squeezing him out. We get a bit of a run on him, losing back enders again. And then I see the red arrows. I think he's completely behind me, and then we're around. We're straight in the wall. I stuff this bit up and I get a 2-second time penalty for collision with Massa, which I think is pretty bullshit. I don't think Bottas gets a penalty for that. But anyway, moving on to the penultimate lap now, and pretty much it's just go all out. I couldn't be fucked at the moment, so it's just keep pushing. Don't even know where Bottas finished at the end of this race. As you can see, massive train of cars. Doesn't matter if I get in front of him, I'm not gonna finish ahead of him. So, as I'll be as much of a nuisance as I can to them. So a little bit of a nudge on Alonso there. He squeezes me under the grass, so I'll call that even. Holding it around the outside, massive oversteer. Thankfully Alonso's car was there, kept me facing forward. We got a warning for contact with Hamilton. And come flying, not quite going for the dive yet. Yeah, last lap now. You guys should know that, but anyway, I'm telling you, making sure you guys know. And looking for a way to get around Alonso. And right on the back of him now, getting a bit of a run. And going for the dive into the penultimate corner. Is that one? Ocon won, and as you can see, massive track extend. Trying to stay ahead of Alonso. I'm not going to finish ahead of him. I finished 19th here. So moving on now to the final race of the season in Malaysia, starting 16th. Still a good shot of me winning. I don't even know how far up I got to finish to win the championship. I don't even know what the standings are at the moment. But I think that adds a lot of extra pressure. You know, as you can see, I'm really just nudging Bottas after the last race. I was so pissed off at him. Quick little bit of a nudge on Ricciardo after I let him up the inside. He's battling with Palmer, I think that is. And we're battling with Vettel. We get real good traction straight around the outside. And I knew this was going to be a mobile chicane, or going to be a bit of a tough one. So we dive it, get it up the inside of Ricciardo as well. Ricciardo holds it around the outside. Tip my hat to him. Then we hold it around the outside of him, banging tyres there. And then I just decided, stuff it, let's just back out of it, and I'll find somewhere else to overtake him. So I decided to go rallycross style and overtake him. As you can see, obviously it was going to be a legal overtake, and he just decides to barge me. I'm in the back of him again, and squeeze him out, overtake him, get oversteer, and then he decides it'd be a good idea to try and take me out. He doesn't take me out. Vettel takes me out. I don't know what he has against me, so I was already pissed off about the last race. Wasn't scoring any points, so I just flicked it around, run into Ocon, and just gunned it towards the finish line. As you can see, I'm just going in by lap basis here. Catching up to Ocon. Yeah, really closing in the gap now, heading on to the penultimate lap. Now I did skip the one, going on to the last lap. As you can see, massive dive, and I just take out Perez, who I honestly think has been a bit of a dick to Ocon in the real life Formula 1. They've sort of been a bit of a dick to each other, but that squeeze, that heading out of turn 1 at Spa last weekend. I think that was a bit too far. Like, he knew he was there. Ocon's squeeze on Perez back in Baku was, I think that could have been arguable. Still controversial, obviously, but still. Anyway, moving on to the final lap of the season. Crossing the finish line now, and it was a very unfortunate P17. Quite funny though, all of our points were scored on the podium. Anyway, as you can see, that's the end of the season. Nico Hulkenberg won. Tip my hat to him, and we finished 10th. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.